Hi, this is Nanette Hosenfeld at the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Monday, September 17th, 2018. Looking at fire potential impacts over the next few days, we will see dry, gusty winds through midweek. We're looking at really low minimum relative humidities in the 5 to 10% range across much of the area, and really gusty winds across orange highlighted areas. There is also the potential for some very isolated dry thunderstorms across northeastern Utah this afternoon. You can see that area highlighted with a yellow dot on the map, and that area will see some gusty outflow winds. Over the past 24 hours, there was some very light precipitation across eastern Utah. Not too much in the way of accumulation, but there were a few lightning strikes across eastern Utah associated with that precipitation. Fire activity continues across the Great Basin. We have some team fires out in the Great Basin still. As far as observed precipitation over the past 7 days, you can see it's really been quite dry across the area. Idaho has seen the majority of that precipitation, but it's really been quite dry. Looking back at the 30-day period, you can see that eastern Utah and portions of Idaho and the Arizona Strip did have a fair amount of precipitation, but it's been very dry across the western part of the Great Basin over the past 30 days. With really dry conditions across the Great Basin, our ERCs are exceptionally high for the time of year. You can see quite a few areas with ERCs above the 97th percentile, which is very unusual for this time of year. We typically are seeing ERCs trending downwards, but with the hot and dry weather that we've seen, conditions continue to be abnormally and exceptionally dry. Looking in more detail at ERC, you can see from GB25 how far above normal the ERCs in this area are, well above record normal levels for this time of year. The satellite this morning shows a low pressure system in the Pacific Northwest. With that system in place, we will see gusty winds this afternoon. So, looking at today, you can see really dry air in place across much of the Great Basin, with the driest conditions across the southwestern part of the area. The strongest winds today will be across portions of central Utah and a small area in eastern Nevada. Again, you can see the image on the right shows those wind gusts. We are looking at gusts in the 25 to 30 mile an hour range across those portions of the Great Basin in very dry conditions. As we move into Tuesday, we see similar conditions with very dry air in place across the Great Basin, and we continue to see gusty winds across portions of Utah and Nevada. Those wind gusts are expected to be in that 20 to 30 mile an hour range again tomorrow and spread further eastward across the Great Basin. As we move into Wednesday, those gusty winds shift to the northeast as that low pressure system makes its way into the Great Basin. You can see on the significant fire potential map on the right those areas that we are highlighting for high risk as far as wind concerns on Wednesday. And you can see from this forecast map for wind gusts here on the right where we are expecting those gusty winds across much of the Great Basin. And again, looking at relative humidities on the map on the left, it'll be very dry. Many areas will see single-digit relative humidities on Wednesday afternoon. Over the next 3 days, basically no precipitation is expected across the area. As we move into Thursday, we continue to see really dry air in place. We're not looking at really any relief in sight for the Great Basin as far as precipitation. It looks very dry through at least Thursday. That dry air remains in place across the area on Friday. We will see winds decrease a bit on Friday with high pressure building across the area, but that will also lead to increasing temperatures. Moving into Saturday, we'll start to see winds increase again across the southern half of the area, along with very dry air in place. And then moving into Sunday, there is a potential for increasing moisture across the northern part of the Great Basin, but we will continue to see a very prolonged period of dry weather, especially across the southern part of the area, with periods of gusty winds through the next 7 days. So looking at the 7-day precipitation total, you can see that giant hole across the western United States, very dry across the area over the next 7 days. Finally, in the 8 to 14 day period, the Climate Prediction Center is calling for above normal temperatures across much of the area, with below normal precipitation across the south. This does suggest that we could see precipitation across the northern part of the area towards the end of September. So that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Our information is on the screen, and you can also find us on Twitter. Thank you.